Euphemisms are a way of talking about rude or impolite subjects, usually to avoid causing offence. They're very common in English, but rarely discussed because of their sensitive nature. There is also a difference in the use of words in British and American English. It's a big area, and I'll just be looking at some of the more common terms for discussing things that are not usually discussed in public. Talking about needing the toilet can be embarrassing. I remember my first trip to the US not knowing what a restroom was and having to ask. In the UK, most public facilities will be labelled toilet or WC in older buildings, short for water closet, and usually they have a picture to identify the sex. You might hear it referred to as the lavatory, which is often shortened to the lav, and you might hear I need to go to the loo, or I might need to go to the bathroom, I might need to freshen up. Sometimes the act of urinating is mentioned. I need a wee, I need a pee. The term piss is used, but it's not polite. Talking about private parts can be difficult, not just for non-native speakers, but also for different types of English. In British English, both ass and bum are generally acceptable. Ass is another word for a donkey, but it's also used instead of bum, backside or bottom, which in the UK would be spelt arse. In American English, ass is also backside, although a bum is a lazy person or a person who avoids work. Both Dick and Fanny are common abbreviations of longer names, Richard and Francis or Stephanie. However, Dick is used as a slang term for male private parts, as are the words knob, nuts and balls. Fanny is used in the US as a euphemism for backside, so a fanny pack in the US is a bum bag in the UK, a belt with a pocket attached for carrying larger items. In the UK, fanny is more offensive than in America. Both words can be used as verbs to mean messing about or wasting time, so stop dicking around or fanning about. Phrasal verbs often have multiple meanings, but getting on and getting off need extra care. Get on is often used instead of mount, like get on a bike or get on a horse, but getting it on can also mean to mount in a sexual way. Getting off can also mean to lose control. I got off on cannabis, or in a casual relationship, I got off with a girl. Having me on and having it off can also be complicated. Having me on isn't a euphemism, but it's an expression that means to play a joke, as does pulling my leg. So a line like, can you go to the store and ask for some striped paint, might be answered, you're having me on, or you're pulling my leg. Having it off, however, has the same meaning as getting off. Another area where non-native speakers can be embarrassed is by not being aware of words with more than one meaning. These are called double entendres. They've been used in comedy for a very long time, even Shakespeare used them, and they're still used in comedy nowadays. Euphemisms for private parts, or verbs like to strip, can be used in the wrong place. Some examples might include, I'm redecorating my apartment this weekend and I've booked a stripper to help me. You could say a wallpaper stripper or a paint stripper, as you don't mean an exotic dancer. I'm not working this weekend, I'm looking forward to having it off. You mean having a few days off. Have you seen my nuts? I put them on the desk. Peanuts or cashews. Euphemisms are used all the time in English, and it's worth taking the time to be aware of how to address sensitive subjects.